It's clear to see why the switchback is one of the most notorious roads in the Isle of Man. The death on Saturday of 14-year-old Lucia Porter has put road safety issues back under the spotlight. Here's what her mother had to say yesterday.
We drove up there yesterday morning just to have a look, and I can see just by looking at how the road is and how narrow it is and the bumps in the road, that it's just an incredibly dangerous place to drive if you're going at speed.
There have been calls for new legislation to be introduced in the wake of Saturday's crash. Infrastructure Minister Laurence Skelly says there are issues to be debated. Now, first of all, I believe that just this morning you've received a letter from Jeff Corkish looking at perhaps legislation and ways of improving safety on the roads. Can you talk a bit about that?
Yes, I have just this morning received that letter from Mr. Corkish, and I think he's expressing a concern that many have, and that is, do we have the appropriate level of legislation to for young drivers on the roads today? And it is something that we have been reviewing in the department already, and what I will be doing is, as Minister, is actually reviewing that as a matter of urgency, and we will be considering a number of different measures to actually improve the safety on the roads.
Now, just looking at the switchback road specifically, this is quite a notorious road, isn't it? What could be done to make that road safer?
Well, I think what we have to be careful is we don't just focus on one road. This is about driving on the Isle of Man, the young people of the Isle of Man in particular, because that's where it seems to be going. Road safety is a big issue, but in particular we're talking about the young people here. We have a unique situation where our young people get to drive at the age of 16. And I think the vast majority of drivers are very responsible, without a doubt, but it is always an issue as to how can we ensure that they adhere to the rules of the road, so to speak, and also become more experienced in a quicker fashion. So can legislation help improve that? It's quite possible it can, but I think it needs a collective approach. The education, I think, is a big part of this, that we must ensure that we educate our young people on the dangers of the roads. Cars today, the performance of cars are, improving all the time. There's more cars on the road here on the Isle of Man, and yet, we've got these severe weather conditions that we need to take into consideration. So I would like to sort of look at it from a holistic point of view, rather than just one specific road, which we will take a review of the measures on that road, but we do need to bear in mind it's a rural road, and how do you police any measures that you put in place.
Are you aware of the petition, the online petition?
I am, yes. Actually, a constituent of mine, and I'll be speaking to Lewis this afternoon to get a better understanding. And again, I think what that is doing is raising the awareness of driving and the inexperience of young drivers, and how can we improve that. So it is definitely an issue that we will be taking forward.
But one of the points that he makes is that education about road safety issues should start much earlier in schools, that by year 11 a lot of students are already on the road. Yeah,
it's a very, very good point. And, I was just speaking to my colleague Joanne Watterson, Home Affairs Minister, and learning as to the fire brigade actually go to the schools to actually educate young people on driving issues. We have, I think, in the department in the past supported examiners, also driving examiners, actually educating them. So we're going to look at a raft of different issues, and I think from my point of view, legislation is important, but that has to be policed. But education, I think, is probably even more important, and the sooner we can do that, the sooner the better. The better for the young public of the Isle of Man.
Now we can drive over here a year earlier. We can start to learn to drive at the age of 16, and I know that a few years ago that was looked at perhaps standardising that with the UK, and it seems to have been put on the back burner. Is that something you might return to?
Well, you know, I think we do need to consider all aspects. You know, I don't think we need to do knee-jerk reaction. We do need to take a consideration in the context. And when I think of road safety, it's worth bearing in mind, I think the last 5 years, we have seen a reduction in the severity of incidents on the Isle of Man over the last 5 years. So that's important that, you know, to pick up on that. And as I said earlier, considering the number of extra cars, the number of people driving on our roads, and our roads were never really designed, you know, for mass traffic transport anyway. So it's just something to bear in mind.
The crash has opened up a wider debate on road safety and young drivers in particular. For Lucia's family and friends, it's a personal tragedy.